how are you? If you want to buy a home, but you have a home to sell, then you really want to listen to these important tips on how to get it done in 2022 when we're in a crazy seller's market. Because I know it sounds tricky, but it is possible to do it. You just need to know this information I'm about to tell you. Hi, I'm Lynda Hafner, top producing realtor at ERA Realty in Central Massachusetts, Worcester County. Number 1, avoid the temptation to try to go house hunting when you do not have your home under agreement, because a home seller will honestly not consider your offer when they have multiple other offers that have nothing to sell. You are at a higher risk because you have a home to sell. So if anything goes wrong with the sale of your home and it falls through, that means you can't buy their home. That home seller hopefully will know this from their list agent and will advise them against accepting your offer unless you have a solid deal. What's a solid deal? Is that an accepted offer on your home? No, it's not. Anyone can get an offer on their home. A lot of offers fall through, especially now with this competitive bidding that's going on. You need to have not only have your house on the market with an offer accepted, you need to have gone through the home inspection, made sure that you've gone through any home inspection items that have needed to be negotiated, and you've got a signed purchase and sale agreement. Once you have a signed purchase and sale agreement, that gives the home seller of the house you want to buy the reassurance to know that, okay, you're ready to go, you're pretty solid, and you're a much safer bet, and they're much more willing to accept your offer. Now, I know, you're saying, okay, but how do I go about doing that? What if I go and I put my house on the market, I get an accepted offer, and then I can't find a house because there's no houses on the market? And yes, that is a totally valid concern, and it is the tricky part, and there is no guarantee you will find the home that you want. So what you do is you make sure your realtor knows how to language the offer of the person buying your home, and you place it not only in the MLS, but also make sure it's written in print before they sign that the home sale of your home that's on the market is contingent on you finding suitable housing. So basically, if you can't find a home to go to, you're not going to sell the buyer your home. That's just it. You're going to have a lot easier time having that work than having some seller who has tons of offers on their homes wait for you. That just is not going to happen. The third step, although you may actually want to do this before you put your house on the market, is just making sure you can actually get a pre-approval and making sure that you're taking into account the money you get from the sale of your home and your incomes, and get all that paperwork done so that there's no guessing. You don't want any guesswork in this. You aren't going to have time for guessing. So you want to make sure your pre-approval letter is in hand. And not just that, you knowing the pre-approval number is good, but it's not the most important. You really, really want to know, what is your monthly mortgage payment going to be? A lot of lenders tend to not give this. They only give the pre-approval number. And then my clients, buyers, get the actual mortgage amount and they freak out. So don't do this to yourself, okay? Don't just go by the pre-approval number. Okay, you're pre-approved for $525,000, great. But what does that mean for a monthly mortgage payment? And you got to remember, that's just principal and interest. Then you got to add on the taxes and insurance, which is significantly more. So know before you go. You want to be educated, because that's going to help you make the best decisions for yourself so that you can move quickly. Again, this market is moving quickly. So you can't have guesswork in here. You have to be prepared. Be prepared before you start, okay? Very, very important step. Like I said, properties are going super fast. So do not rely on yourself to check the internet every single day for homes. You're probably going to get busy. You're not going to have time to do it. The best way to do this, and this is what I do with my home buyers, is I set them up on an automatic system with the towns and locations they want, price range they want, bedrooms, baths, and as soon as it comes on the market, they're going to get an email. This is what you want to set up with your realtor. Make sure you're getting automatic emails for any property that comes on the market, because it'll go quick. So as soon as you get that email and you find that this is the house you really like, go schedule an appointment. Now granted, Some listing agents will not even let you see it until the open house, and you have to read the disclosures and everything and find out what that is. They don't always disclose that to the public. You might have to go through your realtor to get that information. But bottom line is, be one of the first ones to see the house, because early bird gets the worm, and it definitely works this way with homes in this market. So you go see the house, you like it, you want it. Don't wait putting in the offer. Put it in right away and be as aggressive as you possibly can based on how much you love the home and how much you want the home. The more you love and want the home, the more aggressive you need to be with your offer. Make sure you know what the seller wants. Find out, have your realtor have a conversation with the list agent, not just emails and texts. A lot of agents do this emailing, texting thing. There's a lot of information you can get from someone by talking to them, a lot more. And this is what I do, and it helps a lot. It really helps a lot. It helps me understand where my buyers need to go in and where the strengths are going to be, how to put in a strong offer. You need to know what the seller wants, what their seller expects, and you try to give that to them. You already have a disadvantage because you have a home to sell. You need to compensate for that in another way, whether that be an overabundant offer in money terms or giving them easier terms that are easier for them to deal with. The easier you make your offer to be accepted by the seller, the better. So there are many factors that go into it, and it's something, again, your realtor can guide you based on the home that you like. These are all the things, but be as competitive as you possibly can in this market. And don't get your hopes up on the first home. Seriously, please. You're not likely to get the very first home you put an offer in on. I know it's sad and it stinks, but it just is the way it is. It may take more than one offer depending on how high over asking price you're willing to go. And if you're not willing to go that high over asking price, then you're going to have to wait a little bit longer. Last step, you get an accepted offer. Woohoo, congratulations. But it's very important to make sure that you coordinate the closing dates with your new place and your old place. And there's a lot to that, and this is what causes a lot of stress. So much stress, because if one of the two properties has a change or a delay, it affects both of them. And it gets pretty hairy. So what I would suggest is, if there's any way, I had this happen to me with a recent buyer of mine. I helped her buy a house and sell. And when she sold her house, she asked the buyer that was buying her house to let her rent it back for a week. And that worked out so well for her. It took out the stress for her. So she rented it back from her home buyer. So that way, when she could have a little bit of leeway in a few days. So if there was a delay, it wouldn't kill her, and she could move out at her own pace. It was absolutely seamless, and I would highly recommend, if you're a home seller, to try to see if you can get a buyer who's willing to do that for you, because it will make it so much easier on you. So there's lots of hidden tips and tricks that realtors know that can help you, and I hope you will use us as a resource. Please reach out to me if you have questions. I'm happy to answer them. And if you like my content, please subscribe, hit the bell notification. I put out a video every 2 weeks, but I put out more info on Instagram and TikTok, so check that out too. All right, have a great day.